So when Superstorm Sandy hit, I was getting my master's at Villanova University, and I was looking for ways to give back to my state because I was pretty upset about it. And my answer to that question was research. I thought about doing cleanups and other things that you can get involved in, and I wanted to do something that I thought that maybe everybody couldn't do. What could I personally do best? And so I sent my resume out blindly down the shore looking for opportunities, hoping that I could help us learn something that would make us better prepared for the next storm, which will inevitably hit in the future. The question I'm looking to address with my research is how do coastal dunes respond to and recover after storms? And I have a number of different ways that I'm trying to address that question. The first is actually physically mapping what happens after a storm. And so by having a baseline of where the dune crest is pre-storm, I can then go out with a sub-meter accuracy GPS that runs this program called ArcMap, and ArcMap allows you to spatially reference things, and so it's a really great way to figure out why erosion in one area might be high, because I can then look at, well, how wide was the beach in that area, what vegetation was holding and stabilizing that area together, how tall was the dune, and so by going out after storms, I can document how much erosion actually occurs in the park, and I'm looking to expand that not only here but at sites in Delaware and Maryland as well.
So worldwide, because this habitat, this primary dune area is so stressful, there's only a handful of species that can actually survive in it. And those species are really important because they feed back on the dune shape potentially and how the dune grows over time, which plays a factor in how they're going to combat sea level rise. American beachgrass is considered one of the poster children of dune building, if you will, because it has a long root system that spreads vertically and horizontally, and those roots have sand binding properties, potentially because of little mycorrhizal fungi in the soil that may actually play a role in helping to take these individual sand grains and turn them into more stable aggregated clumps that are ultimately better suited to resist erosion when you have a storm.
So if you come to the New Jersey shore, which is very developed, and you go to the developed areas, they'll point to something and they'll tell you keep off that dune. But that's really not a dune, unless it has plants on it, unless it's being held together by plants. It's really just a very expensive pile of sand. And just like a sandcastle that you might build on the shore at low tide, come high tide, there's a good chance it's going to be gone. And what transforms the structure from a pile of sand into a dune is the plants. The roots of the plants actually hold the whole thing together and giving it structure, acting like a net. And so I'm interested in what factors facilitate these plants to come in and recolonize when the wind and the waves actually devegetate areas during storms. So I think dunes are definitely part of our future, and I'm really hoping that my research can kind of fill in some of the missing puzzle pieces to help in these developed areas, but also to make sure that in the future places like Island Beach, this beautiful barrier island, still exists.